So one of the most effective things that distance runners can do to make sure they're maintaining conditioning and strength efficiency as they run is to get into the gym and do some conditioning work. But there's a lot of questions around how to structure around what it's supposed to look like. So today I wanted to take you through about a 20-minute workout which is going to target our core and our legs, just to help us when we're feeling a little bit tired as we're running. Naturally we start to slouch, we start to slumber over a little bit. So with some targeted work around our core and with some targeted work around strengthening our quads, our calves and our hammies, this workout done 2 or 3 times a week is going to be invaluable in assisting you in your distance running training. The beauty of a session like this is it doesn't matter where you are in the world, where you're traveling. If you've got 20 minutes in your day to structure some time to get around it, well, you can get it done. So the way that I've structured this one is we're going to do 5 different exercises, as I said, targeting our legs, different parts of our legs and also our core. And we're going to repeat that 4 times. So between each exercise, I move fairly quickly to the next one. But after you've done the 5 different exercises, before you start your next set, give yourself a minute to 2 rest, just to let yourself recover, get your breath back and get into the next round. Alright, now for this first exercise, you want to lay with your elbows directly under your shoulders, hands pretty much coming straight out in front. You can have them flat or up to the side, whatever's most comfortable. You want to make sure that as it gets more difficult, you're not putting a big arch in your back or sort of lowering down. You want to keep your back as neutral as possible. Try and keep a line from the top of your head all the way down your back to your heels. If this particular pose is too easy, you can challenge it a little bit by bringing your right knee up to your right shoulder. That's not your shoulder, is it? That's your elbow. Your right knee up to your right elbow, and then alternate for the 30 to 45 seconds that you hold this exercise. It's amazing how much of a burn you can feel just through bringing your legs into it. So don't stress if you can't quite hold that pose. Just holding yourself steady for the 30 to 45 seconds is great. This really targets that core, which is really beneficial as you start to get tired in a race, just to make sure that you're not too slouched over, because that really impacts your technique efficiency. So once you've finished this exercise, you're going to jump straight up and get into some squats. One of the biggest misconceptions with squats is that you need some real heavy weights on your shoulders in order for them to be effective. It's not true. You can get a killer workout in through your quads just with your own body weight. All you got to do is make sure you're getting a really deep squat, and if you hit a certain amount and it's too easy, just increase the amount that you're doing. But for today, for this particular session, we're going to hit 20 squats for each round that we do. So as we do get into the squats, you want to have your feet around shoulder width apart once again, and like we were saying before, you don't want your back to be too slunched over. You really want to keep it straight and push your butt back over your heels, so most of your body weight is coming through your heels. You don't want your toes to be sort of taking on all that pressure. So a bit of an example is you want to push your bum right out, use your arms as a counterbalance, and make sure your bum's really low to the ground there. Obviously there's a really deep range of movement that you can hit just through targeting the weight through the heels and making sure your bum's at the ground. So we're going to hit 20 of these, and then once you've done 20, we'll move into our next exercise. This is obviously great for your quad strength, and just this conditioning through your quads is really beneficial once again as you start to get tired. Too many runners ignore the conditioning side of their running, and as a result just unnecessarily deal with too many niggles, too many strains, and just unnecessary little injuries that take them out of running and stops them from developing that consistency that they really need. I've lost count, but I think that's about 12 or 13. Just really targeting, making sure that bum is getting as low to the ground as you possibly can. You might find, if you're new to this, that range of movement might not be accessible to you, so you just want to get down as low as your particular range of motion will allow you to get. Let's call that about 20. You should feel a little burn already through your quads with that one. Alright, so you've hit those squats. Unfortunately, the next exercise is going to target those quads even more. This is going to give you some real explosive power. I'm going to sneak over and ask this bloke at the park if he minds if I join him to do a couple of box jumps. So the idea with box jumps is depending on how comfortable, how confident you are with your ability to leap, is going to dictate how high the box that you're jumping up on should be. I recommend as a start point, if you're new, aim for something that's about your knee height. We're going to do 10 box jumps, so I'll demonstrate this better in a moment when we hit the park. But essentially, you're going to squat right down and with a big leap, jump up onto the bench or whatever the box is in front of you. This is going to hit some real explosive parts of your quads. As distance runners, so often we're good at getting out and doing the long, slow, monotonous kind of stuff, but to break it up with something a little bit more explosive is great for our confidence, great for our strength, which is the purpose of this whole video. Strength is something that too many distance runners overlook. So hey, how about we duck over and ask this bloke if he minds if we join him at the park. All right, as I start this exercise, I'm going to disconnect this microphone because this cord's not going to reach the distance, but you can see that the bench that I'm about to use is just above my knee height, which is something I'm fairly comfortable with, fairly confident with. As I said, you're going to do about 10 reps, a really low squat, and then an explosive leap, and try and maintain your balance when you hit the top of that actual bench. All right, now for this second last exercise, we're going to target our calves. So I've got myself a nice little platform here, which I'm going to be able to put my forefoot on. You want the back of your calf to dangle off the edge, and then I'm going to just walk you through what some calf raises looks like for this particular exercise. You're going to do about 10 to 15, depending on how strong you feel, depending on how confident you are with this particular exercise. Obviously, if you've got any strains, any niggles, maybe give this one a miss or just back it off a little bit. But essentially what you want to do, as I said, you start with your left foot, you've got your heel dangling off the back there, and then you want to lower down for about 3 seconds, and then about 3 seconds right back up to the top. If you can, avoid the mistake that a lot of us do by sort of just trying to go as fast as you possibly can. You want to really make it controlled, right up to the top, full range of motion, right back to the bottom there. And for the last exercise of the day, we're really going to target our hammies. Obviously, a lot of the power from your running comes through your hammies, but it's an area of our body that we don't really train that much. So using that same platform that we just used to hit our calves, I'll show you what we're going to do. Try not to worry, I've got plenty of people around me looking at what I'm doing now, and this one's perhaps a little bit out there, but if I can do it in this public place, I'm sure you can too. All right, so what you're going to do, I should have bought a mat so I didn't have to lay down on this bark, is you're going to put your heel up on the platform, spread your arms out, and then through the power in your heel, you're going to push down, extend your hips up into the air, and try and do 5 to 10 of these, depending on how that feels through your hammy. If you start cramping too hard or it's just too much for you, just back it off a little bit and then jump over onto your other leg. The same deal, you're going to really feel that straight through your hammy up into the bottom of your glute. Oh, that's a good burn. It gets you every time, that one. So guys, that's round one. Once you've done that, repeat that 3 to 4 times. So you've done 5 exercises, 3 to 4 times, targeted your core, targeted your legs. As I said at the start, if you guys are consistent with that practice, that's going to assist you to such a great degree with your running, especially with maintaining form, maintaining strength, and building that consistency. Let me know in the comments below how you found it, and I appreciate you guys stopping by. Good luck with that workout and good luck with your running, and we'll see you here really soon. I'm going to have to update my equipment. Look at this. Every time I stop recording, I have to deal with this bloody big knot to untangle. So I hope you appreciate this video.